Good evening everyone and welcome back once again to ABS Racing League. This is round 12 of a now reduced, of course, 15 round season, and you join us for the beginning of the Americas sort of finale run-up if you like. Although it's completely wrong to say that because Imola is slotted in at round 14, so that is completely not right at all, saying we're in the Americas until the end. Although, of course, we do have the USA next week, and we do have Brazil to round off. Yeah, Imola slotting in there isn't exactly very American, is it? But good evening to everyone. I'm sorry that this is so late. It's completely my fault. Must have, when putting my controller down, to have a cheeky wee, press B, and then I was in a car. But we're restarted. We're back to a full grid, which is absolutely magnificent, and there's no better time for it, as well as we have one of the most thrilling championship fights I've ever covered in league racing, to be honest. After his win last time out, Bad F1 Opinion is at the top of the standings on 95 points. Second place FRT FH, and although he was top of the standings after the Dutch Grand Prix, he's now fallen just 2 points behind Bad F1 Opinion, but his form has really picked up at a time it has needed to. I mean, to be fair, Bad F1 Opinion has been quite brilliant for the most part this season. Obviously, he won Britain and really got his championships charge standard. He went on to win again in Canada and found a third win of the season last week, as well as you all know. FH still yet to win, of course. You know, it's been looming, it's been so close, yet so far, that sort of thing. He's 2 points behind, so he's just going to be thinking about the consistency for the time being. I must also add Bolero Fox as well, sitting in P3, and he's 3 points off the championship lead as well. V2 Combat, who we all know it has always liked to be a bit of a Mr. Consistent, sits in 4th place as well, in close contention, just 23 points bad off Bad F1 Opinion, sorry. So that is the top 4. AMS fairly in 5th. We all know he went on to do back-to-back race wins not too long ago, but he has since been disqualified from the championship, season banned from the league for taking out PSR Mac on purpose. So that's obviously not what we want to see. Hence, he has been season banned and will take no further part in this championship. PSR Mac, 62 points. FRT Evans, 61 points. FRA LMG, of course, who hasn't raced since France, 50 points. So realistically, the top 7, 34 points within them, have the best shot out of anyone. This could still go absolutely anybody's way. This season has been so unpredictable. It has been a joy to watch for the time that I have been covering. Also like to apologise again for my absence in the previous 2 weeks. I've had to take a bit of time off due to exams, and then illness came along as well, and it's just threw everything a bit out of proportion, so I just took the time off. But we're back this week, so this is delightful. What isn't delightful is this. I don't think it's funny in the slightest. It is a massive distraction for those out on track. Yeah, it's not helpful. You know, I've learnt for the past, a couple of years ago, people were trying to do it. People trying to wind others up in my early days of league racing, and it does wind people up, and if people don't like it, the best things to do is just stop. But I don't know, we'll see what they get up to later in the session. But Polo God's currently on an invalid lap. We've seen a nice split of soft and medium lap times at the moment. They should all go on to softs towards the end of the session, but we'll have to wait and see. But let's watch third place man of the championship, Bolero Fox, who was leading for a significant period of time. He went so long without not scoring a point, and then all of a sudden 2 non-point scoring finishes came along together, and since he just hasn't quite found his brilliant best. The FRT driver slipstreaming off the Williams, FRT Evan pulling to the left hand side, and it is a purple sector 1 as the Haas driver makes his way now into turns 4 and 5, gets on the power nicely, rolls it into turn 6, which is a double apex right-hander, just one corner, now into turn 7, a quick left, down 2 gears to 5th, about 130 miles an hour through. Very difficult section of track this, a lot more difficult in real life, bit easier on the game, and pretty much nailed that Bolero Fox. Now into sector 3, still showing purple on the track map, but this is not going to be a purple lap time as he slides into the barrier at turn 12. A horrific final sector on show for Bolero Fox. Is he feeling the pressure? Who knows? To be fair, who wouldn't be feeling the pressure? Only ice cold, the best of the bunch. I mean, for an example, Max Verstappen, midweek, went off his sim game, practicing Jeddah to do a bit of iRacing, and ultimately went on to speak to George Morgan that evening, so, you know. FRT Sabi, I think I've got that one right, not a name I'm familiar with, but obviously a very FRT dominated grid nowadays in ABS. What a great team, great roster, and as you can see, that's surely getting irritating. Oh, you can't just cut the corner when drivers are on their laps. It's not nice to see. Fortunately, he goes straight off into the wall, and finally gets himself out of the way. We're still on board here with FRT Sabi, as through the S's he goes. This is turn 11, and the third DRS zone around the lap, a short one, added in 2019 in order to try and aid overtaking there. We never really see it too often there. You can understand after coming out of a long, dirty, air-riddled section, and FRT Sabi, look at that, he jumped onto the curb, his McLaren almost getting out of shape. And he goes P2, but FRT ACOS, another FRT driver, like I said, goes to the top of the timesheets in his Mercedes. 1 minute 14.318 is the new time to beat on that soft compounder tyre. And FRA Plakey, it's his Red Bull onto the front row. 1 minute 14.469, and the lap times are starting to tumble. Starting to get competitive. It's starting to get interesting. Good evening to the live viewers joining us. Got any predictions, anything to say, just pop it in the live chat. By myself this evening. To introduce myself, I am Joseph, or Joseph F1, whatever you want to call me. Who cares nowadays, but good to see you all. Hope you're having a great Friday. And once again, apologies for the delay caused by myself. We are all here now, ready to get this show on the road for the remaining 4 rounds of the season. I have heard there's some exciting times for ABS around the corner, so I hope to be a part of it going forward. I hope that this championship fight is clean. It sets a really good example of good league racing. FRA Jack is out there in the Aston Martin through turns 10 and 11. Absolutely pinned through there, and he hugs the inside line, ready to set himself up, braking on the curb, swinging it in. Medium speed corner. You're greeted by a low speed hairpin as you go through the stadium section. Always makes an absolute racket when Sergio Perez goes through in real life, and most drivers, in fact, F1 really a love sport in Mexico now. And FRA Jack, look at his Aston Martin in P5. FRT Venom now retiring from the session as well. He was one of the two. I shouldn't laugh really. It's not really what you want to see. But this is PSR Mac. And may I add, what an introduction he had earlier in the season. And he's found himself in you know, I'm not going to say a championship flight, but certainly a win and the right results would see him in that position to fight in the remaining rounds of this season. Now that proceedings have been reduced, I think it really just adds that element of pressure onto the drivers, you know, at the moment. FH obviously has set his lap on the medium tyres, but he's out there on the softs and appears to have invalidated as well. So are we seeing that added element of pressure? Fox only 13th, but again, he's been on the medium tyres and he's still out there on the mediums. So maybe committed himself to the alternate strategy, but that seems to be all over the place. Remember, he went around here last time. He's got through there cleanly this time around. Now into the penultimate corner, turn 16, and then straight into the pit lane on the inside of 17. So again, Fox not getting that one right. DCRS Surfy. Been a while since I saw him race, to be honest. So he's see who's in action. It's Isaz, a driver that I know particularly well from my time this season in WR Tier 3, which is still ongoing, of course. It's Isaz putting his McLaren up to P9. He's been a real competitor. He certainly really does enjoy his league racing, really enjoys his F1. And, you know, he takes every result to heart. It's not that that's a bad thing, but when he gets, say, a win, say a podium, you could just hear it in his voice. He gets absolutely ecstatic. That's the sort of great passion that is influenced nowadays in league racing. It's great to see sim racing and league racing keeps going in the right direction. John's Fair certainly going in the right direction at the moment. He's absolutely flying. This is an on-edge lap from the Williams driver. A DRS open for the third time around that lap. He might pick up a bit of dirty air from the McLaren in front of him, but he's found 4/10 as of the middle sector. First gear, short shifting to 4th, just to get the power on gently throughout that little left-right sequence, and Joran's Fair to the line, and it's a 14 flat. That is going to take some beating. But FRA Plakey, I believe, is coming around the final corner now and into the pit lane because he has invalidated. It was looking like a particularly competitive lap, so he's going to be disappointed with that one. I wonder if he'll have time to come out again and go for it again. Polo God crosses the line and goes 5th fastest. Nitro 7 seconds down in the middle sector. Let's not take much notice of that. Jarv off as well. Isaz still out there on another flying lap, so maybe I think he's had a recharge and then gone again. We tend to see that in real life on some rare occasions, but it's not something you really want to be doing on a high deg circuit like Mexico. The Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Bit of Marmite, to be honest. Certainly love-hate, whether you like it or you don't. FRT Heaven has started his final flying lap, as has championship leader Banif One Opinion, who is down in 14th at the moment and has everything to lose, really, on this final flying lap. Let's watch him go into turn 1, now into turn 2. Quite cautious through there, and the championship leader has got around on his final run in this session. Pressure really is on, ladies and gentlemen. It is evident, it is there, and the top 3 in the championship, 14th, 15th and 17th in this qualifying session so far. You really cannot make it up. It's been some real undescribable actions this season from those 3. FRT Heaven is on a great lap at the moment. He'll be looking to get himself inside the top 10 as he rolls it through, into turn 14, now 15, now 16. I avoided the barrier on the right-hand side, taking the short route to the line, as we all know, and he does go P9. Next to cross the line is a Haas. I believe it's actually Fox. So, what can he do on this run? He goes up to P4. It's very, very solid indeed. He needed that. And PSR back has not improved. Or certainly, I'm not quite sure what's happened to him, but the checker flag isn't yet out. So Balef, one opinion, is going to get another run here. Surfy cutting the corner there. FRT FH out on the soft tyres. He's found 2/10 in the first sector. This is looking set to be a dramatic end to this qualifying session. FRA Plakey on another run as well. Fox certainly isn't now that he's invalidated, but purple for FRT Sabi as into turn 16 he goes, and around the final corner, what can he do in the McLaren? And he goes onto the front row, but misses out by 3/100ths of a second. It's getting close, it's getting tight, and TRT Evan crosses the line and goes up to P6. Then I think it's FRT Evan, but he aborts and comes into the pit lane. Is it FH to cross the line next? Yes, it is FH! And FH only P8 from the second place man in the championship. Although that does give him a good start on track. It may not be particularly beneficial in terms of strategy. What can PSR Mac do? Because he's next to cross the line. Is he finally going to get a competitive lap in? No, he isn't, unfortunately. But Banef, one opinion, has been able to go out again. And what does he do? Only P12. But he will have a fresh choice of tyres for this dry race. So do not count him out of this. Pace not quite there in qualifying for the championship leader, FH and Fox. FH second in the championship, Fox third in the championship, qualifying ahead of the championship leader. Equal car championships are so unpredictable, especially when it's so close, and we've had a brilliant qualifying session there to set the grid for a crucial race. Here we go then. Joran's Fair, what a lap. Dominant all qualifying, setting a 14 flats to go P1. Hungarian driver Sabi is joined by fellow Hungarian and fellow FRT driver FRT Akos. They're second and third respectively. FRA Plakey P4 for him. Fox in P5, TRT Evan P6. It's an all-Irish row 4 with Polo God joined by FH, AMS Nitro in P9, FRA Jack rounding out the top 10. Jarv will have pole position in terms of free choice of tyre. That's obviously not pole position, but it can be massive in races like this, particularly at Mexico. Banef, one opinion, FRT Heaven and FRT Evan. You can see there in the top 14. We just take a drink of water. I think I deserve some. Oh, water. Beautiful. Do get your predictions in the live chat. Driver still reporting keyboard input. Just checking the main chat. Weather update. It is snowing in the northeast. That means it'll probably reach me maybe tomorrow morning. We'll see. But I don't think anyone cares. I'm just saying to pass the time. Because we know what's on the line here. I mean, apparently it's snowing already. But who cares? We've got a full race lap to get on with. We've got a race to get on with. A 36 lap race around Mexico City. It's right in the heart of the city. It doesn't look like it, does it? But it certainly is. Take a wider view. Fantastic country. Got a fantastic F1 driver in Sergio Perez. Got a fantastic IndyCar driver in Patricio O'Ward, or Pato, as he's known as. motorsport crazy country at the minute. We've got so much to look forward to each week. And the virtual fans have a race on their hands here. Joran, P1. What a qualifying from him. I think it's going to be a great fight with the two FRT drivers behind him. Certainly Plakey and Bolero Fox. We'll see if they can get in the mix as well. Certainly. Let's watch for the progress of Bad F1 Opinion from P12. Let's take a quick look at the strategies. You can see the only drivers outside the top 10 to go onto the soft tyres are PSR Mac, who we see always likes to go aggressive. He gets some brilliant starts. He's a brilliant overtaker. And AMS Partick as well, starting last. Could see a mixture between one-stop and two-stop strategies. It is entirely possible that we see safety cars throwing all sorts of strategy options into the mix. So I'm not going to lay down any particular comment on that until it actually happens, because league racing is crazy, league racing is cool. And getting set for round 12 of the ABS Xbox Tier 1 season with John Sfair joined by FRT Sabi on the front row. Five red lights coming on now ahead of the drivers. And it's lights out and away we go in Mexico City. It's a great start from Joran and it's a great start from FRA Plakey. He's looking to get in the mix now with the slipstream FRT Sabi. It's a 1.2 kilometre start finish straight and they might go 3 wide into turn 1, but Joran edges out. FRA Plakey around the outside. He's got the inside for turn 2. Wheel to wheel through 3. And is he going to be still be side by side with FRT Sabi on the exit? FRT ACOS with a poor start. Bolero Fox losing one position. Joran still trying to heat up the tyres. That has Jack Aitken from Monza in 2020, I believe, written all over that. Bolero Fox pushing FRT ACOS out the way there, getting through crucially. He needs every position humanly possible. He needs every point possible. Entertaining start here in Mexico, but look at this, FRT ACOS still harrying the back of the Haas. Oh, and he almost collects the Mercedes. He does collect the Mercedes, and flying through is FH, second place round in the championship. He's had a great start, and he's on the back of one of his championship contenders. Jack ahead of Polo God. He has to cut the corner. Another Mac being bullied almost off the track through no real fault of their own, but I wonder if FRT ACOS has any damage. I don't see it. What about Bolero Fox? He's slipstreaming the back of TRT Evan, bit of dust being kicked up by the Alfa Romeo, but nothing on this particular one. Polo God, I believe he's just been smacked off on the start finish straight. Front wing falling off that Mercedes, and that might be race over early for him. Meanwhile, Bad F1 Opinion has just been overtaken by the fast starting Mac. I have to say, six positions gained on the opening lap from PSR Mac. I told you he goes aggressive. I told you he's a brilliant overtaker. He's so crucial with every move. This is the championship leader, Bad F1 Opinion. 3-time race winner this season. So much leaning on his shoulders. He's got FRA Jack this time in front of him. It's usually TRT Seed, I believe, his teammate, unless I've got that wrong as well. It's not quite that same dynamic when you suddenly have a different teammate. Yellow flag again in Sector 2. I believe that is Polo God. Sector 3, sorry. And certainly someone's crashed out the final corner. But PSR Mac has made another move, this time on FRA Jack, but for how much longer? As Jack comes around the outside, yields into 2, but he's going to have the slipstream into turn number 4 here. And he's gaining, and he pulls to the inside, FRA Jack, and he's going to brake late and try and retake the position from Mac. There's a bit of contact, but again, Mac has the inside line for turn 5, and he edges out in that one. FRA Jack putting up a good fight for us, and now he's got championship leader and teammate behind him, Bad F1 Opinion. Will he play nicely? I mean, Bad F1 Opinion on the medium tyre, and the lead medium runner, crucially. There might not be any imminent threat, but certainly we've got someone around. It's FRT Heaven, who's spun off here, and there's no front wing on that AlphaTauri either. Polo God has since retired, by the way. I wonder if FRT Heaven will do the same. But out in front, John's Fair, lap 4 of 36, a 2-second lead, but with the DRS now enabled this lap, FRT Sabi might be looking for a move on FRA Plakey. Plakey, who's had a brilliant start in this race. Bolero Fox getting ahead of TRT Evan. And here comes FH as well. He's been let through quite easily by TRT Evan, his teammate, and you can understand why. But this is the battle, or one of the battles, we've been looking forward to so much in this race. Second against third in the championship. 1 point between them. 2 points off the championship lead. And I believe FRA Jack, who was battling with Bad F1 Opinion not so long ago, might have come together or something with him, because Bad F1 Opinion was behind him. Still on board with FH. Into turn 12 they go. And through the stadium section. So many eager eyes watching on there. AMS Party, who started plumb last. 3-second time penalty to his name. That will be a deciding factor in this race. So let's cut away quickly, because we could be about to see a move for P2. FRT Sabi's got the run on FRA Plakey, and he moves to the inside, and he's going to have the move done far before the corner. But let's look at FH. Here comes FH on Bolero Fox. How hard will the Haas defend? It's second against third in the championship, and second wins out on that one. FH crucially getting in front on one of his main rivals, but Bolero Fox is going to have the slipstream. He's using all of his battery, but the DRS effect there being nice to FH, keeping him in front. Nice three-way battle going on here. ACOS, PSR Mac and TRT Evan. PSR Mac still flying through the field. He's driving exceptionally, as he has been doing. Interesting to see if Bolero Fox loses touch or not with FH, considering how much battery he dumped there. But then again, FH has been doing the same, of course, to try and get past him. A great trade here now. 2 Alfa Romeos, 2 Haas's involved. It's going to be a real team game, this one. PSR Mac. We go for it here on TRT Evan. He's so close. He's got the slipstream. He pulls to the right-hand side. He loses that slipstream effect, of course. So it's going to be a drag race to the first corner. Bolero Fox has gone ahead of FH once again, though. This really is a ding-dong battle. And Haas against Alfa Romeo again for 6th and 7th. And both Haas's winning out on this occasion, but here comes FRT ACOS as well to the outside of turn 4. He's going the long way around. He brakes late. He brakes ever so well, and he's now up into P7. So much action here in Mexico City. FRA Plakey, 3-second time penalty. Don't you think I didn't notice? John's Fair has one as well. So they're starting to come in thick and fast. Can't get too many of them. You really will start to be at risk of just losing points completely, especially if a safety car comes out late on FRT Venom. 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. LRX Adams as well. Here we go again then. Should we go back and watch FH here? Is he just a bit too far back on this occasion? He's gaining again on the Haas. And this will set him up for an opportunity into turn 4. As often the 1.2 kilometre start-finish straight can do. Doesn't get a great exit there, FH. But again, he's got the slipstream. He's shifting quite early, so I don't think he's too committed this time out. But he's piling all the pressure he can at the moment. PSR Mac as well. Alfa Romeo, the filling and a Haas sandwich. FRT ACOS, who's slowly been falling down the order. He did start 3rd, remember. FRT Venom, I believe that's another penalty to his name. Bit of oversteer around the final corner, and FRT ACOS has certainly felt too much oversteer, and his Mercedes out of the final corner has spun around. But FH ahead of Bellerofox. Sorry, I'll flick back to this quickly. And, oh, look at this as well. PSR Max trying to get ahead of his teammate. The two Hasses side by side. Remember, rule number 1, guys. And they've pushed each other off the track. And they're going to be neck and neck towards turn 4. The Hasses can't afford to do this. Certainly, Bellerofox will be livid with his teammate's actions, considering that is a crucial position lost in this championship fight. I really need a safety car. My laptop needs plugging in. Actually, it says it will last 2 hours on 10%. I think we'll be alright. But again, PSR Mac, as we saw. He really does put on a show, this guy. He might be about to get himself up to P4. And Bellerofox has actually pulled into the pits for an early stop. He's rolling the strategy dice and has come in early. This is the 11th position gained in 9 laps for PSR Mac as he overtakes FH. Fair and square into turn 1. But Bellerofox onto the medium tyres finds himself in a little bit of clean air. It'll be fascinating to see how this plays out. No answer from FH, as you would expect. He doesn't have the DRS. But still, he'll take every points gain on his 2 main rivals. He is, of course, the furthest in front out of the 3. Hence, he really should take the championship lead after today. He's really found form. We've seen as well what he can do in SRC as well, representing the FRT team. Such a rapid young riser is FH, as are most of these drivers, to be fair. Got so many talents that I've seen rise to the very top. Maybe FH could be one of them. He's gaining once again on PSR Mac. Will he get the move done? Is he going to have an answer? Oh, he just couldn't quite make his mind up there. For a moment it looked like maybe right, maybe left. And he just backs off at the last moment because it will set himself up. Ideally for turn 4, where he's deploying the overtake. Is he going to brake late? Is he going to be bold? FH down the inside at turn 4 on PSR Mac. There's a yellow flag in sector 1. I think it's FRT Venom that spun around at turn 3. But look at this! FH defending for dear life on PSR Mac. And Mac gets a good exit. He's not going to risk a move into turn 7, that's for sure. But FH and Mac putting on their absolute maximum in terms of defensive driving, in terms of attacking driver, and Mac is going to go for it again into turn 12. It's not quite where you see a move usually, but Mac has done it. This is some battle. And look who has arrived on the scene. In his bad F1 opinion, about to overtake potentially his championship rival Balera Fox. Crucially, getting a penalty there. Well, it's not a good thing, but it will be crucial for the outcome of this race, that's for sure. Here comes bad F1 opinion. He's gaining on the Alfa Romeo, and the Alfa Romeo is gaining on the Haas. Will they go 3 wide into turn 1? Bad F1 opinion moves to the left-hand side and almost makes contact with the Haas. I think he might have actually. But FH takes the lead as the top 3 have gone into the pit lane. As you can see, Balera Fox coming out not really anywhere near them. It's 2 seconds behind Venom at the moment and about 3.5 behind FRA Plakey. It's really this fight. We'll be looking to see how he funnels out, and considering how hard FH and Mac have been fighting, I think Balera Fox will be streaking clear of these 3 when they make their pit stops. Look at this, 1/10 between them as they come out of turn 11. PSR Mac once again. He did this on the previous lap. He's done it again into turn 12. A battle beyond description at the moment. Will FH and PSR Mac come into the pits? Yes, they will. Bad F1 opinion out into the lead of the race with clean air. And now he can get his head down, focus on his strategy. I think we've had a Merc off. I know FRT ACOS has been struggling. I think it was him. And he's got no front wing. Sadly, his race has just unravelled. But let's see where Balera Fox comes out. It's certainly going to be close. He's got ahead of FH. It's not going to be close at all. And Balera Fox is going to get maybe half a second here just by overtaking FRT Venom, because he's had the slipstream and DRS effect here. That's TRT Evan just behind him. He pit 1 lap later than Balera Fox. He's now got Venom to clear. ACOS retiring in the pit lane. That's the 3rd DNF of the race. Balera Fox is a long distance on his teammate. His tyres aren't much older. Pretty decent call there from Balera Fox. He knew that he was in a battle that could be avoided in terms of losing time, so put into the pit lane, tried to gain some of that back. FRA Plakey, is that penalty number 2? It is for Eric Adams. Look at that, 3 penalties. FRT Venom 24 seconds. It's even trying at this point. I don't know, but look at this further behind. FRT Venom allowing TRT Evan through. Easy as you like. John's Fair still dominating in terms of pace. 116.4. He's out on the soft tyres. NRX Adams becomes DNF number 4. Front rates in the DNFs racking up in the pit lane, but here's the McLaren battle. Sabi, who's been performing ever so well in this race as well. He's in the fight for P2, and he doesn't have any penalties either. Oh, look at that. Plakey gets a slow exit, and through goes Sabi easily. Now Isa's trying to come at the Red Bull. I'm not too sure what was happening there. It might have been Plakey reporting keyboard inputs. I'm not quite sure. Certainly someone did. So maybe something going on with this wheel. Maybe just a horrendous mistake from the Dutchman. FLT Sabi will be looking to try and break that DRS range, because it's an on-track fight as well as penalty fight. PSR Mac getting a 3-second time penalty, and Venom letting him through as well, and of course he's going to let through FH. Not that there's anything wrong with it, he's just being respectful. He's not really in this race at all, Venom, so he's just letting through to fellow competitors. We're on board with FH. I believe Plakey has got past Sabi here, so again, still a battle going on there. Will FH go for a move? Yes, he will. FH to the inside of PSR Mac. Mac is going to try and keep his nose in. We know he will. Certainly he's going to set himself up for the best exit possible out of turn 3. Flap in FH's rear wing, of course, opens. starting to hit TRT Evan and Balera Fox. You can see there his Haas. FRT Heaven has crashed coming out of the final corner. He hasn't retired, so that should cause nothing in terms of a VSC or safety car. He's back underway again. There's been a lot of front wings littered around the circuit today, that's for sure. In real life, we certainly would see at least a safety car for that clean-up process. This isn't real life. Let's go to the fight for the leads. On track currently, FRA Plakey, FRT Evan, that is, that's coming to the pit lane. FRT Venom, I believe, having some trouble further back. Yeah, there is a fight for the lead on track as Joran, who's still dominating, 6.4 seconds over FRA Plakey. Can you believe it? He's closing in on bad F1 opinion. So it's happened to Jarv, I believe, as well, losing a position. He's yet to stop, so Jarv in a very bad position in this race. Ultimately, Nitro as well, Venom 2. But look at this, surely not into turn 7, I was going to say. Joran has got so much extra grip, and you can see it visibly through this high-speed section. He's got to be careful that he doesn't bump into the rear diffuser of the Aston Martin. And here comes Joran. Will he go down the inside at turn 12? Yes, he will. That's if bad F1 opinion allows him the space. He actually ghosts the Aston Martin. Joran has still got to be careful. He's going to try the switchback. He's going to try the double switchback. And look at this. He backs out into the penultimate corner. You can understand why. It's too much of a risk to take. Now that there's a DRS zone and a 1.2 kilometre start-finish straight, this will be a very easy move for Joran. But bad F1 opinion does not want to give anything up easily, does he? He is the championship leader after all. He's got that championship leader's mentality about him. He's running his own race still at the moment. In terms of strategy, he did go opposite, really, with the effect of starting P12. The benefit, sorry, I should say. That's 16 of 36. Quite halfway through this one, just yet. Still a long way to go. No safety cars just yet, although we have had 6 retirements. But I believe Venom has crashed on track. But it's quickly cleared, and we're back to green flag running. Evan has left the session. Double AlphaTauri DLF. Remember, they went so well at Hungary. Oh, there's been a collision at turn 1, I believe, between Nitro and Jarv. Yes, there has. Something's gone on here. Not ideal for the two that are struggling most in this race. They're nowhere near the pack. And they're still yet to stop. Nitro pitted early. But obviously, those tyres getting nowhere near the end. John Smith has pulled 2.4 seconds on bad F1 opinion in just 1 lap. That is just this guy's pace at the moment. FRA Plakey is starting to drop Sabi a little bit. I think we should turn our attention to the fight once again looming between FH and Balera Fox. Remember, Balera Fox with the 3-second tyre penalty. So that will affect him come the end of the race. Very unlikely he's got sufficient evidence to get that removed, because there's no doubt he's picked up warnings since. He's getting tight here. TRT Evan, the rear gunner to FH here as well. But bad F1 opinion still to pit. We'll be doing that soon and getting right on the back of these lot in an instant. But it's the US Grand Prix next week here in ABS. Saudi Arabian Grand Prix in real life, so you can have a great racing fix next week. As we run up to the festive period. Let's see here, because Balera Fox has got eyes as to clear. Look at that. Look how much track he's using, Balera Fox. I don't know whether that's been deemed legal leading up to the race or what, but here he comes. It's surely going to be an easy move, and he'll be hoping Isaz blocks, or defends like a lion, I should say. But Balera Fox getting through there easily. FH trying to gain as well, and here comes PSR Mac down the inside, late braking on TRT Evan. Now he's got the outside line, which will turn to the inside for turn 3. They've left each other just enough room. Bit of nudging on the exit. And here comes PSR Mac again. He's back in the slipstream. Which way will he go? He's being pretty much forced to the outside here, Mac. And he goes around the outside again. Will he make it work this time? He stuck his nose in at turn 5 as TRT Evan runs off the track. And Mac has the inside for turn 6. Where is Evan? There he is. He's now finally behind the house. A sigh of relief from Mac there. It looked for a moment that Evan did not want to give that up. He's got through. He needs to get back into DRS range very, very quickly. FH has cleared Izaz, by the way. That might have been a case where he let through FH as well. Maybe to make it fair. Wasn't quite paying attention to that particular moment. But they're unleashed. It's the start of lap 20. And FRTFH, once again, reminder, second place on in the championship on 93 points. Fox third in the championship on 92 points. As FH looking to gain. Here he goes. FH to the inside. Here he goes. Late braking. And he's got the move done into turn 1. Fairly easy stuff from FH, who has the tyre advantage in terms of life. But I'm sure we'll see Fox just try and manage, save ZRS a bit and try and come back at his rival in the coming laps. Oh, and that is a second 3-second time penalty for Fox. We saw it firsthand. This is a really poor penalty scenario for Fox. Just look how much track he's using. I didn't actually know you could get away with that in the game. Unless he isn't, of course. But still just waiting for the final pit stops to come in. Bad F1 Opinion has now done 19 lap stint of those medium tyres. Will we see him go on to softs for the end of the race? Let's go and watch what's happening here. This is for P2. FRT Sabi about 8.7 seconds behind John Fair, who is running on 6 seconds of penalties, I must add. So it's still very much on for him. It's taken P2 and FRA Plakey is coming to the pits for a set of medium tyres. Is that his second stop? I believe it is. FRA Plakey has made a second stop in this race. Surfy getting ahead of Partick. That's for a point at the moment. Evan getting ahead of Izaz. Izaz yet to pit and he's down in P9. Meanwhile, drivers such a bad F1 Opinion. 20 laps. P3 still in this race at the moment. He's doing a really incredible job. Maybe still hoping for a perfect safety car, but you can just see how little pace he's carrying through this middle sector. FH 11 seconds behind him. So that is still a very big gap. That could keep him that position on track if safety car was to roll out at the perfect time. But Joran has come in obviously for his second pit stop. He's been on 2 sets of soft tyres. I didn't consider that. But why did I consider that? I don't know. But he's gone on obviously to a set of mediums and he's gonna push like the wind, run like the wind. until the end of this race. Is he going to come out ahead of FH? It's certainly going to be close. Look at this. Joran with 6 seconds of penalties. He's going to have a great tyre advantage, and we'll see what his pace has been like in this race. Still a net P2 at the moment, Joran, because bad F1 opinion still to pit. But then he's got the task of pulling 6 seconds on FRT Sabi. If he gets to catch up to him, FH didn't really do anything there. But here comes PSR Matt. The Haas is going at it again. We saw what happened between the two of them earlier in the race. They're forcing each other off the track. Is it going to happen again? They're wheel to wheel through turn 5, now into turn 6. Fox still sticking his nose in as they still run side by side on the exit of the corner. And wheel to wheel into 7. PSR Mac, turn 7 overtake on his teammate Fox. Who, well, oh! It's bad F1 opinion! Bad F1 opinion has a puncture! And bad F1 opinion, who gambled on going long in this race, has a puncture on his front left tyre. Can you believe it? This is going to be so costly in the championship. And FH punching the air goes through. Oh, and he tangles with Mac as well going through. He's trying desperately to limp back to the pit lane. And all of a sudden, it looks like a non-point scoring finish for bad F1 opinion, who risked it. He went long. It looked like he had nothing left in those tyres. But it is game over for him. He's gone onto a set of hards. He tried to go ever so long into this race, and it just reached the point where his tyre said no thank you. As it stands, FH into the lead of the championship. He's on to 108 points as it stands. Fox into the 100s as well. He'd take P2. He'd go on to 102 points. So as it stands, FH has a championship lead of 5 points over Fox. That's not including penalties for the time being. John's Fair 10.3 seconds behind Sabi. Sabi now has a penalty to his name as well, so if he was to catch up, he would only need 3 seconds. Now, Sabi, is he going to be at risk of a puncture? Bad F1 opinion did 23 laps. By the time we get to the end of this race, FRT Sabi will be pushing about 24 laps. This is going to be one of the craziest endings you are ever likely to see, no doubt. And into the pits comes, in fact, Fox. He's not going to risk the puncture. He's seen what's happened to bad F1 opinion. He was one of the drivers that overtook him as he was limping back to the pit lane. It's a set of soft tyres, interestingly. And out he goes again. Twelve and a half laps left to go in this Mexico City Grand Prix. I forgot it's called the Mexico City Grand Prix now, not the Mexican Grand Prix. When we get to Sao Paulo, take a shot every time I say Brazilian Grand Prix, because I'm not going to remember. I'm going to have to write it down in block capitals. Jarvis crashed down on the final corner. Safety car! Now that throws everything into the void. We're back to square one. FRT Sabi takes the cheapest pit stop of his life, and he's going to return into the lead of this race. Joran's Fair back onto soft tyres. FH is going to take the pit stop as well. Fox, who just pit, is going to be crying. Quite literally crying. Everyone has gone onto the soft compounded tyres. I mean, bad F1 opinion can get off his hards, which I don't suppose is a bad thing. You know, he's got really not much to lose in this race. Got a lot to lose in the championship. So he needs to try and gain that back. He needs to have the greatest restart, the greatest final sprint of his life. But this suddenly is the order. And I have to say, credit to Surfy as well. He's been driving exceptionally. I haven't really picked up on him too much. P6 for DCRS Surfy, former FRT driver of course. That would add to the long list of names in this league. But he's sitting 6th on no penalties. Bolero Fox has rejoined in P5. This is the penalty situation ongoing at the moment. Drivers have been forced into a 2-stop race. The 1-stop has not quite worked out, but the safety car has gifted a pit stop to everyone on a plate. No tyre concerns now. There certainly was, particularly with FRT Sabi, who looked like he might have tried to go to the end with the gap that he had. Bolero Fox is perhaps going to lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions as it stands, obviously with everyone still to catch up to the field. This is not final, of course, and therefore we'll do the maths at the end of the race, because it's pretty simple maths for this top 3. Of course, V2 Combat not making it tonight. He's going to lose massive ground if he has any hopes of winning it. PSR Mac sitting pretty sweetly in P4. Don't rule him out of it. Looks like we might have another lap. Nitro hasn't quite caught up with the pack yet. Izaz, a man of one opinion. Just Izaz getting a penalty there. I think for a nudge in the back. But the safety car is in this lap. That's a late call. And suddenly FRT Sabi has preparation on his hands to get a restart going at Mexico City. It's a 1.2 kilometre long main straight. He's at real risk of being overtaken, as we know. PSR back, big hit there by his teammate, but FRT Sabi's foot to the floor. We are racing once again in Mexico City, and Bolero Fox, that is clumsy. That's 9 seconds now of time penalties for the 3rd place man in the championship. And will anyone make a move here? Mack is looking to get the move done on FH. Will he commit to go down the inside? Yes, he will. This contact as he tries to squeeze in now to a closing gap, and he doesn't quite get it done, PSR Mack. Here comes Joran. We know how quick he has been on the soft tyres in this race, but here goes PSR Mack up into P3. There's going to be pending appeals for sure after this race. Excuse me. Oh, Joran. If there's anything that's let down this guy for his absolutely astronomical pace, it's his penalties. The same going for Mack. That's 6 seconds without that additional 5. And FH, who does not have any penalties, is actually in a very good position to go on and win his first race in the season. Imagine the scenes if that was to happen. But Sabi is driving really well and has done all race, so you can really credit him for his performance. Will Joran, though, think about making a move, or will he just halt now? Will he just try and accept and be gracious in defeat? Because that is what his penalties are ultimately going to do to him, unless a miracle occurs. DCRSF, Bolero Fox is around! Bolero Fox has spun out at turn 3! And that is the second one of our 3 championship contenders that have gone around in this race. Bad F1 opinion with a puncture Valera Fox with an incident at turn 3. Evan and Surfy going at it. They're absolutely neck and neck. I should really be watching this. And Surfy has gone around and hits Evan. It's a massive pile-up in the middle sector. Partick involved for sure. And unsurprisingly, a safety car has come out for the second time in a short space of time. I don't believe this. Chaos. Chaos indeed. They were absolutely wheel to... Mack has retired in the pit lane. His 11 seconds of penalties. He's given up with that. What are we witnessing? But for FH, still on no penalties. Bad F1 opinion, by the way, is back up to 5th. He still, well and truly, can finish on the podium or even contend with Evan and FH. I believe it was TRT Evan involved in that, not FRT Evan. What on earth? They were going side by side for so long, and I really should have picked up on it sooner, but Valera Fox was around, so obviously you get the shock out of the system for that. Just caught it late there. Unlucky for Partick, he had nowhere to go. Evan and Bad F1 opinion trading positions momentarily. They're back to where they should be. Surfy is still not down and out, I have to say. Evan picking up a 5-second time penalty. There's a few of those kicking about now. Well, I say that, it's just Evan now. His drivers have retired. Late race drama, and it's not even over. I think this might be our last lap under safety car conditions for the whole race. We've had 2 of them. They've come in quick succession, and the race has dramatically flipped on his head. Who thought Bad F1 opinion would be given a free ticket back to fighting for potentially a race win? To make it back-to-back wins, Bad F1 opinion, but FH is certainly the favourite. Sabi 3 seconds worth of penalties. There's every chance that he can hold on, but Joran, who has been by far the quickest on the racetrack today, sorry, fastest lap, actually has gone to Sabi, but in the long run, these two, just compare the fastest laps for one moment. Sabi and Joran might as well be a second clear of the rest of the field other than Surfy, but here we go. FRT Sabi has another restart to get right, and Mexico City awaits. 6-lap shootout. He goes early, FRT Sabi, and it's foot to the floor. We are racing for the 3rd time again in Mexico City. We're back to green flag running, and Jorrance Fair's actually got a poor restart this time out. FRT Evan, who will be looking to appeal his penalty, may well fancy his chances of overtaking FH. FRA Blakey is retired. DCRS Surfy ahead of Nitro. Ferrari's trading positions there. Bad F1 opinion. We'll see what he can do. It's crucial that he clears Evan and tries to get on the back of FH. He still could keep the championship lead today, Bad F1 opinion. Remember, it's just 2 points between himself and FH. 95 for Bad F1 opinion, 93 for FH. Bellerofox still in the running, but with 9 seconds worth of penalties, it's pretty much, hate to say it, game over for him. And Banff, One Opinion and FH are going to start streaking clear in this championship fight. Yellow flag, of course, that's for Plaguey, who retired in the pit lane at the very start of this lap. Leader gaps and penalties on the screen for you. Everyone on the soft tyres. That is just the state of play at the moment, and Bellerofox is still trying his very, very almighty best to claw back any points he can in this race. I'm not sure ultimately whether it was his fault. I didn't quite catch the incident. It was definitely unprecedented, and you would not expect it in a time like this. But what's that now? 5 laps to go on lap 32 of 36. TRT Evan and AMS Nitro trading positions. Nitro's got a great exit. In fact, Partick with another penalty. He's side by side, I believe, with Isers, but Nitro and Evan is our fight. Evan defends to the inside. He does so late. Nitro thinks about going around the outside. He's going to need some extra Nitro to power himself back past. Partick getting another penalty. So whatever is going on between these two, I'm fascinated to find out. This is what's going on between our bottom 2 runners. AMS Nitro with another time penalty. That means if Bellerofox was to overtake him on track, he would keep that position. That's a sign of encouragement, and they've both got out. Unbelievably, they've taken each other out. Oh, for fuck's sake! Are you joking? It is the 3rd safety car in absolutely rapid succession. Unbelievable. 9 runners left out of 20. This just helps FH. You know, he really was at risk of maybe slipping behind too far, but he's able just to catch back up again. He's still on no penalties and shouldn't get any under the safety car. Net podium, FH, Banff, One Opinion and Surfy. Surfy to get on the podium in Tier 1. That'd be a sight. I'm really not sure what's going on. I mean, I'm not really too aware with the rest of the tiers this season. But obviously one of the main reasons the season has, of course, been cut short is to try and mitigate the driving standards and just get the season done early. But I can't say it's not been brilliant today. Too many drivers giving themselves up in the pit lane as well. It's not nice. You certainly get that a lot in Tier 1. Something's not gone right. I hate to say it, and I don't mean to be offensive to anyone. I'm really sorry if this offends anyone, but you know, it's the higher tiers. You have bigger egos in league racing. That's what it is, you know. And if something doesn't go right, first instinct, well, it hasn't gone my way, I'll retire. I don't mean that in a personal way. I don't mean that in offence to anyone, but it's just a general thing, isn't it? And you do get that, and obviously you get a lot of desperation, especially when you have 3 late race safety cars like this. I thought the first one was late. This is really late, and we're going to have a 2-lap shootout to the end where things could get worse, I have to say. Apologies for my language. I'm just a racer as well, you know. I'm reacting to the race. I'm trying to make it entertaining for you guys to watch. I'm by myself this evening, and my voice again is just about holding out. I have been ill, like I said. I have missed the last couple, therefore it's been a difficult week to get myself back into this, but it's been a real pleasure covering this one, like it usually is. ABS have been fantastic with me this season, I have to say. It's been a delight covering this championship fight, and who knows what route it could go down. The remaining 3 races after this. No doubt that will be in on the end of this lap, like I've just said. Just past 8 o'clock now, obviously my fault as well for the late start. It's UK time. Nights have drawn in for a long time now, and racing are very cold, damp, dark evenings. FRT Sabi. I did not think I'd have to say that he's now covering his third restart. Runs wide though. Joran saying hello. Sabi just getting as much temperature into the tyres as possible. Will he go early again? Yes, he will. And he's foot to the floor. We are racing once again in Mexico City. We're back underway with Joran Spare on 9 seconds worth of penalties. It may not feel like it's worth taking the risk, but he's got the overtake deployed. He's dumping all of his battery to try and make this move. He's going to go for it, the Williams driver, into turn 1. Joran Spear against FRT Sabi. There's a little bit of contact. FH will be grateful that this is keeping him, of course, still within touching distance of his first race win of the season. He is going to be so happy if it does happen in just 1.5 laps time. Joran Spear still looking for every angle to try and at least win the race on track. Still, the net podium, FH, Bad F1 Opinion and Surfy. Evan may have, you know, to appeal that penalty. He certainly has means to. Probably doesn't think that it's his fault. But FRT Sabi runs wide, as does Joran, and that is penalty number 4. 12 seconds. A nightmare. A horror story in terms of penalties for Joran. He's used his deploy on this lap. Fortunately, it means he can just save the battery until the end to go for one last push to the end of the final lap of a long, daunting, chaotic, critical Mexico City Grand Prix. Don't think we're going to see too many moves risked on this final lap. But for FH, he's 1.5 seconds off the race leader, who has a 3-second time penalty to his name. Joran is perhaps going to drop to the very back. There is a fight between Bolera Fox, TRT Evan, and Surfy. This is for the podium at the moment. Surfy back up the inside. Evan does receive a 3-second time penalty. Surfy gets through. It's crucial that he's stayed ahead there. Let's go back to the front, because FRT Sabi is now entering the final sector in front. And although he's certainly not going to win this race, the fireworks, the confetti, the atmosphere in Mexico City is always brilliant. And first across the line, it's FRT Sabi. But for the first time this season, FH has done it! He's done it! He's won the Mexico City Grand Prix. Finally, FH, winner this season in ABS Tier 1. Unbelievable. Beyond description, that race. And he signals his appreciation to the crowd. I've just seen the best thing ever in the Tier 1 main chat. Who is Bella Box? That is brilliant. I've never heard Bella Box before. But FRT, what a day for them. Always so well represented in this league, like I've already said. They could get their results, can't they? A proud team, that's for sure. But Sabi finished, of course, P2. So Surfy has not made it onto the podium. It's too far back. Looking forward to speaking to the top 3. As FH takes the championship lead and a 8-point swing, I believe, in his favour. So let's get the top three in for an interview. Of course, we'll do that. Bolero Fox, 96 points, I do believe. And then Bad F1 Opinion would move on to, if my maths is right, 110. And then FH, with the race win, of course, 118. So, like I said, it is an 8-point swing. It is the perfect day for the Irish driver. And I just don't really know what to say, in all honesty. I'm losing my voice again, but can't really help that. That's illness. That is long illness. It's not COVID, just long illness. Alex Core would still find a way to blame the vaccine.
Oh my god.
Can't commentate properly? Blame the vaccine. Good evening to you all. I mean, what... I say all, it's just two of you at the moment, but... Wow. I really can't put into words. 3 safety cars, punctures, spins... The lot happened there. You were the best of the bunch, I have to say. And I'll start with you, Bad F1 Opinion, because, I mean, the stress of getting a puncture when doing that alternate strategy. You know, what was your tyre wear like? Were you expecting it to just pop? You know, what was the main thing going on there? Absolutely, I'm sure that you're grateful. You know, crossing the line third ultimately. Well, you didn't cross the line third, but obviously inherited it from the penalties. I know you've lost the championship lead, but I'm sure that's the least of your concerns. Would you just describe it as a bit of damage limitation after that? I mean, you did get lucky with 3 safety cars. Let's be honest, it just brought you right back into contention and even touching distance of the race victory if the race was just allowed to progress. So, yeah, just your final thoughts on that?
Cheers.
So yeah, thank you very much and congratulations on your result, whatever it may be. Obviously, we're still pending a few appeals. Definitely, there were so many late race penalties given out in that one. But I will talk to our almost definite race winner, and that is FH. For the
Yeah.
first time this season, I'm delighted for you first and foremost.
Cheers.
But 3 safety cars at the end. I'm going to ask this to you. That must have been stressful because obviously it was giving you just that, you know, edge to stay within the 3 seconds, but at the same time, you must have been gripping onto your wheels so tightly, like, don't do anything stupid, don't do anything stupid.
Yeah, that was kind of how it was going.
the last one I was kind of fine with because I thought there was gonna be like 3 laps left, but then when there was 2 laps left, I was fine. I wasn't really nervous at that point. I was just like, just keep it clean, really. The first two though, I did not like. I do not like a safety car, so that was annoying. But it worked in my favour, thankfully. So I'm not complaining, to be honest. But that's redemption for Austria because I should have won there, but obviously the disconnect happened. So yeah, thank God, finally got that win and Championship League back as well.
Yeah, you mentioned getting the championship lead back there. Obviously, with Blair Fox's absolute nightmare race at the end there, and obviously the less than ideal situation that Banff One Opinion found himself in. Does this give you great confidence into this, condensed final 3 races into the season? Obviously, starting with America next week.
Well, the only track I won at before this at ABS was America. It's not my best on the game, but I mean, if there's a place I could do well at in the race, it'd probably be the US. So looking forward to that. MLR won at a few days ago with no pens as well, so that should be good. And then Brazil, I seem kind of okay at on this game. So it's not like my 3 best tracks, but I could definitely get a top 5 there easily in all 3 of them. So I'm mildly confident. Mildly. I'm not going to say fully confident, I'm just going to say mildly confident. I don't really know how it's going to go, though. Anything could really happen in this, but yeah, I've kind of broken a curse. I haven't won since May, so it's been a while.
Bloody hell.
Well, in ABS. In ABS, I haven't won since May.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, my last league racing win was in May, and that was GSR Tier 3, for Christ's sake.
Well, I was content, awesome. Race.
Yeah.
What a race that was.
Excuse me.
It was a
I
banger.
just gave up after that, but yeah, there you go. Your first ABS win since May, and May was a good month, I can't lie. But yeah, certainly this championship is going to be so entertaining still. It is not over until the checkered flag on the final race, that is for sure. Obviously next week it is the US Grand Prix, 3rd to 6th of December for all tiers. We've still got the rest of the Mexico action this weekend, so if you're not already following the ABS Twitch channel and you want to watch those races, I'm going to recommend that you do, because after that race anything could bloody happen. So yeah, once again, thank you everyone for watching this race, and hopefully I will catch you all next week for USA. See you then.